This morning, the fourth officer-involved shooting in less than a month is being investigated. We'll have the latest.
And we're showing you new video just into the newsroom this morning of a prison fight between Jamie Klaas's kidnapper and another inmate.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on your Friday, November 15th. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Josh Breiter. I've been waiting for this all morning. Meteorologist Adam McClain is here with our car wash forecast. Mine is awful.
Just for you. You have a black car. Yeah,
yes.
You know what I'm talking about. It's looking a little rough. So when can you wash the car? Take a look at that license plate. I hate dirt.
I do hate dirt.
Well, today, not a bad day to wash the car at all, and you'll have a clean car for at least a couple of days. By Sunday, we're talking more precipitation in the area, so maybe if you're not going to wash till Saturday, you might just want to put it off until farther next week because it'll get dirty right away again on Sunday. But today, looking good. I predict that those lines will be pretty long at the car wash this afternoon.
Going early.
You should. Doppler track this morning, no rain showing up, but take a look at that narrow band of clouds. By narrow, I mean it's only less than 100 miles wide, but it is moving through southern Wisconsin, blocking our chance at a decent sunrise this morning. Those clouds will start to break up, though, as we head through the mid-morning into the afternoon. So definitely more sunshine than yesterday. Temperatures will top at 36 degrees this afternoon. That'll be the first time that we are above the freezing point since Sunday. Here's a look at our traffic reports this morning. Your first alert traffic maps still looking pretty quiet at this time of the morning. I did look around southern Wisconsin. There are no accidents to report. If you're heading into Madison this morning, looks like you're going at posted speeds in all those major routes.
So definitely a great day to grab those sunglasses. I don't even know where mine are. It's been a while.
I know, I'm done with them for the season.
No, man, bring them back. We'll have some sun this afternoon.
Bring them back.
Sunscreen, too.
There's your first alert right there.
Huh?
Well, I don't know if you're going to have that much skin exposed.
It's Wisconsin. You never know.
All right, Hattie, thank you.
You're welcome.
First this morning, House Democrats will be holding the second day of public impeachment hearings in just a couple of hours now. Marie Yovanovitch is set to testify. She's the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine who was recalled by President Trump. David Holmes, the diplomat who allegedly overheard the president talking about a Biden investigation, is expected to appear as well for a closed-door hearing. CBS This Morning will be covering today's hearings live in a special report, so be sure to stick around after News 3 Now this morning for the very latest. That coverage will begin at 8.
To campaign 2020 now, 10 Democratic presidential candidates requalified for next Wednesday's debate in Atlanta. The Democratic National Committee confirms Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Tulsi Gabbard, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, Tom Steyer, Elizabeth Warren, and Andrew Yang have all met the polling and grassroots fundraising thresholds. This debate will have 2 fewer candidates than there were for October's debate.
The State Department of Justice is investigating an officer-involved shooting that killed one person.
Now, this is the 4th officer-involved shooting in less than a month here in Wisconsin. Police say officers from Fox Crossing and Neenah responded to a call for a suicidal man. Their interaction with the man ended with both officers firing their guns. The man later died at the hospital from his injuries. No officers were hurt. Now, you'll remember in our area, a 64-year-old man was killed by police on Raymond Road in late October.
New this morning, we are seeing the fight between Jake Patterson and another inmate for the first time. Take a look at this video. The inmate in the blue jumpsuit is Patterson, who you will recall is serving 2 life sentences for killing Jamie Klaas's parents and holding Jamie captive for months. Now watch, you can see Patterson throwing the first punch here, which starts the fight. And as it continues, a prison sergeant in the top right-hand corner fires off a beanbag shotgun to stop the brawl. Back in August, Patterson told prison staff the fight happened after the inmate asked about his case. Patterson is now in restrictive housing.
We've got an active shooter at Saugus High School. We need all units to respond.
A school shooting in California that lasted just 16 seconds will leave a lifelong impact on students and community members. A 16-year-old is suspected of shooting and killing 2 of his classmates at a school near Los Angeles and injuring 3 others. He then turned the gun on himself and is now in the hospital. Investigators are still trying to figure out the motive as they search for the alleged shooter's home and social media accounts. This is the 366th mass shooting of the year.
We are learning new information about a teacher with ties to our area who was killed in the Dominican Republic. Police say they found 63-year-old Patricia Anton strangled in her apartment this week. Investigators say some of her belongings were missing, including her cell phone, laptop, and a TV. Anton is originally from Michigan and had been working at an elementary school in the Dominican for several years. Her cousin lives in Middleton and is remembering her this morning.
She was sort of universal mother. She loved children and animals and very protective, very mama bear. She loved teaching. She was just a role model to so many of us.
Anton is one of at least 11 Americans who've died in the Dominican this year. The rest have been tourists, and the reasons range from natural causes to deaths possibly linked to tainted alcohol. Anton's body is being taken to a lab right now for testing.
Right now, a professor in the College of Engineering at UW-Madison is being reassigned to administrative work. Professor Akbar Saeed was suspended in 2016 for his hostile and intimidating behavior, which came to light after a graduate student in his research group killed himself. A letter from the School of Engineering Dean Ian Robertson says Saeed will not teach during the spring semester and will work in the dean's office until oversight measures are in place to prevent potential harm to other students.
We are expecting to get a decision from a jury in a Janesville homicide case as early as today. The trial is looking to determine whether Jacob Davenport is responsible for shooting and killing James Thompson in February of this year. Final witnesses have testified, and today we're expecting final arguments from both sides before the case is handed over to the jury for deliberation. Be sure to stick with News 3 Now all day for the latest on that verdict.
Also happening today, the man accused of throwing acid on a Latino man's face is due in court in a case that's being prosecuted as a hate crime. Prosecutors say Clifton Blackwell, who is white, confronted Mahoud Vilaz near a restaurant and threw acid on his face after accusing him of being in the country illegally. Surveillance video from the restaurant recorded the entire attack, which left Vilaz with second-degree burns. Today's hearing will determine whether there's enough evidence for a trial.
Police are asking for your help identifying the person you're taking a look at right now in this home surveillance video. They're investigating a break-in on Acewood Boulevard on the east side, the second one just this month. The burglar got in through a sliding glass door and stole some money. If you have any information, you are asked to call the Madison Area Crime Stoppers.
6:07 right now on a Friday morning. It's no secret Madisonians love the local food scene. From fancy restaurants to beloved food trucks, we have it all.
Or rather, we did. Christina Laurie is joining us live this morning to explain what's behind the shrinking number of options. Christina.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. So according to the annual food cart review just released just this month, the number of food carts here in Madison is down, but that review was not all bad news. It also ranks the top food carts in town. And drum roll, please. I don't know who I'm saying that to. I have no audience this morning, but Michael Solinger, Brazen Hussies, #1 food cart here in Madison. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
We're in front of your beautiful cart. So what is it like to vend here in Madison, and what makes you so successful?
I think well, to vend in Madison's great. I mean, it's a right-sized town. I'm not sure I'd want to roll this thing around in a city like Chicago or LA. I think the access to excellent food, excellent product is nice. The competition, it's a really excellent competition with the food carts here. So it kind of raises your game as well.
Yeah, and your position is here on the square. That's where we are this morning.
Yes.
We're just in front of Taverna so people can get their proportions here. But what is it like to have that spot? Because you're here on market Saturdays all during the week?
It's intense. It's an excellent street to vend on. It's busier than I thought it would be. This is my first full year on this street, and yeah, it's really good for business. You're right out in front of everybody. People are walking by. People want to order food. They're interested in eating outside the street food that we provide on the street. So it's been a wonderful year.
Anything new happening in 2020? Because you were ranked the #1 food cart this year, you do get to pick your spot where you want to vend, but anything else new?
No, I mean, maybe a couple menu tweaks, but I'm still kind of absorbing the whole thing. Like the idea of, getting my top pick is nice. It's a nice accolade. But I just want to concentrate on making sure the business is running the way it should be running, and that I'm providing the same food that hopefully my customers like. And that's going to be about it.
You're doing such a good job at that. People were even walking by waving at you. You're a local celebrity here, so we're going to keep Michael here with us. And ahead at 6:30, we're going to pick his brain to get some advice for any new vendor looking to open a food cart come next year. And the city has its way, there'll be a lot of new carts out on the street, Josh and Leah.
All right, already getting hungry this morning.
Right.
Christina Laurie live near the Capitol this morning. Christina, thank you.
6:09 on your Friday. As things thaw out this weekend, you might want to check out what's new at the box office. Our film critic Will Loper is giving us a first look at Charlie's Angels. That's coming up next.
But first, we are warming things up a little as we head into the weekend, as we have some sunshine for your Friday before the clouds move back in. But the temperatures are going to be nice and in the 40s, something we haven't felt for a while, I
We'll take
know.
it.
We'll have the first alert forecast coming up when News 3 Now This Morning continues.
Good morning from the Hattie-O Patio. It is Friday morning. Skies are cloudy here in Madison and temperatures are still in the 20s, but we do have some teens on the map. Everywhere, though, it is below freezing, and if you are counting, maybe you are, maybe you don't want to, but 106 hours so far in a row with temperatures below freezing here in Madison. Now, the last time we were above 32 degrees was 7 p.m. last Sunday. Good news, though, our forecast for today actually calls for those temperatures to climb above the freezing point this afternoon. Now, I know we have some clouds early today, but those clouds will break up for the afternoon and temperatures should top at 36 degrees. Overall, through the next 10 days or so, our temperature trend is a little bit upward. At least we get a little closer to normal. But keep in mind that this time of the year, those normal temperatures are falling pretty quickly as well. Today, our normal high is 44 degrees. By the time we get to next weekend, normal highs are in the upper 30s. So getting pretty chilly as we head towards the end of November. Now, this is what I was talking about as far as cloud cover is concerned. There's a narrow band of clouds along a front stretching from Minneapolis down through La Crosse, Madison, and Milwaukee, kind of hitting all the major cities here in southern Wisconsin. The far southern part of the state is still clear, but those clouds will continue to slowly drift southward over the next couple of hours. They should start to break up, though, a little bit for the afternoon. So we do have more sunshine in the forecast than we did yesterday. Here in Madison, the benefit of the clouds is milder temperatures. We're actually up a degree to 26. No winds to speak of, so wind chill is not a huge factor this morning. Take a look at our temperatures, and it's not often that it's warmer in Camp Douglas than it is in Janesville. In fact, Camp Douglas is almost double Janesville's temperature right now. Janesville's at 16, Camp Douglas is at 31. Temperatures will warm, though, today. Winds are pretty light, so our wind chill factors are generally in the teens and low 20s. Here's a look at your future track forecast model. That band of clouds, a little problematic this morning. It's going to block out most of the sunshine, but by the afternoon, that band starts to fall apart, and we should top around 36 here in Madison. Some spots, though, to the west and southwest may hit 40 degrees today. Skies will stay clear through the evening, but then clouds roll back in overnight, so expect temperatures in the 20s again tomorrow morning. A few question marks for that Sunday forecast, but what you need to know right now is that there is a chance for some snow and then also a chance for some mix or even a little bit of freezing drizzle in the afternoon. Temperatures will be pretty close to that freezing point through most of the day on Sunday. We are set to warm it up a little bit more as we head into next week. Now let's get a look at those first alert traffic maps this morning. Jason's in the driver's seat once again. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. No troubles on the Beltline with drivers at the posted speed limit. All routes heading into Madison and travel around Dane County are good to go. And roads are clear heading downtown with no issues on the Isthmus or campus at this time. With your first alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Jason and Hattie, thank you both very much. This weekend in theaters is a new reboot of Three Crime-Fighting Women.
The movie, of course, is Charlie's Angels, and our film critic Will Loper's here with the preview. Hi, Will.
Good morning, guys. Well, move over. Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu. A new generation is in town for this remake. And Elizabeth Banks in the director's chair is, I think, a reason we can all get excited about this one. Take a look.
Welcome to the Townsend Agency. I run a covert group of exceptional women. So you guys are like lady spies.
Kristen Stewart, Naomi Scott, and Ellen Balinska are the new angels, saving the world and delivering roundhouse kicks as they go.
Let's get the weapon before it becomes every bad guy's favorite new toy. Take her to the closet, gear her up. We're gonna need some wigs, toys,
Feisty.
clothes. Ah, we're still in the first closet. There's another closet.
Charlie's Angels is rated PG-13.
How'd that feel? Because it looked like it felt really good.
That felt nice.
That looks good.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit of mixed reviews, but they're saying if you go in just for like a fun, light action comedy flick, you're gonna be satisfied.
Are you a Charlie's Angels fan?
No, I just like a lot of the actresses in there. So Elizabeth Banks, I'm a big fan of her.
Yeah, you do like her.
Yeah, Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, not bad. You coming back with a review on Monday?
I'll have it, yep.
Very cool. Have a great weekend.
Yep, you guys too, thank you.
Well, the snow came early this year, and if we keep on this pace, soon we're going to be in over our heads, literally. Chris Reese joins us after the break to tell us more about this season's snowfall already breaking records.
You guys are going to love this. But first, Hattie's tracking a milder morning at the bus stop. Her forecast is next on News 3 Now this morning.
Cobra
Welcome back, 6:21 on your Friday morning. Live look at the state capitol from our photojournalist, Mark Schilling, in downtown Madison. Just an incredible shot there. Still pretty dark at this time of the morning.
Yeah, what's that
Dark
about?
and early. Well, you know, look. Oh, behind us, there's the Capitol shot as well. But in Platteville, skies are clear. So they're actually getting a little bit of a sunrise this
There
morning.
we go.
There it is.
Look at that.
So we'll just focus on that today because we don't have that sunshine yet here in Madison. We should see it a little bit later on. Take a look at weather track, and here are those clouds that I was telling you about. A narrow band of clouds now covering Dane County and points to the north. It's about 100 miles wide, so we're not talking a major deck of clouds, and it will start to thin as we head towards the afternoon. But it's definitely creating a cloudy start for most of us this morning. Under those clouds, temperatures are actually a little bit warmer. Take a look at the difference in temps. 26 here in Madison. Janesville with clear skies is only at 16. As you head north, temperatures actually warm up a little bit into the low 30s in Camp Douglas and Black River Falls. Wind chills today, I show this because it's not as big of a factor as it has been the last couple of days. As you get the kids ready to head out the door for school this morning, you don't need as many layers. Wind chills will not be a factor at all this afternoon. In fact, we'll have partly sunny skies later on today. Temperatures will climb to a high of 36 degrees. Again, light winds are expected, so actually a pretty nice day, all things considered. Have a wonderful Friday.
All right, Patty, thank you. We have a first alert traffic note that you're going to want to know about next week. The Merrimac Ferry will be closing on Monday. The ferry runs 24/7 from April to November, but the last trip across the lake will be at 9 a.m. Monday morning. The Merrimac Ferry is the state's only free ferry.
Here is a friendly reminder for folks who might have forgotten. Alternate side parking is happening right now. If you park on the street between 1 and 7 in the morning, your car needs to be on the odd side of the street on odd-numbered days like today, and the even side of the street if the date is even. Alternate side parking lasts through mid-March. Typically, they give you a warning for the first night, but you will get ticketed if you continue, up to $60.
Yikes. Well, in case you haven't noticed, we are well above the average for snowfall this year.
Oh, yeah. You might be surprised exactly how much we're above, though. Our Chris Reese is here to tell us what we can expect if we keep up the pace, Chris. It's pretty surprising.
Yeah, it is pretty surprising. I'm excited to share this with you guys. One of the things I want to start out with is how much snow we have had. So far this year, we've had 15.6 inches of snow. Typically, at this point of the season, we've only had about 1.2 inches. And you see this pink line here, this is where we're at. Notice we are a lot above normal compared to what we should be for this time of the year. 1,300% above normal, in fact, with 14.4 inches of snow more than what we would normally see at this time of the year. If this were to continue, let's go back to the graph and notice how we literally go off the charts, and with good reason. Once you actually get into the nitty-gritty of the math and begin to crunch down these numbers, here's how things play out for us. Normally, we see about 50.9 inches of snow in a season, but what's 1,300% of 50.9 if we were to keep this pace? I'll give you a few seconds to get your guesses going, but I'll tell you what, when you crunch it all down, that's 661.7 inches of snow that we would see if we were to stay on this pace. How much snow is that? Well, Buffalo, New York averages 93 inches of snow. This is Buffalo, one of the snowiest places in the country. Then you get towards what's the name of the town? Oh my gosh, it has slipped my mind. It's in Wisconsin.
Oh no,
Hurley. That's right. Hurley, Wisconsin averages 166 inches of snow. Mount Rainier, though, you were beating me. They do beat 661 inches of snow. They average 671 inches of snow every year, which is 55 feet.
That's crazy.
Of snow in the mountains. That's a 5-story building.
Unbelievable. That's like Arctic.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Might as well move to the pole. North
they
or
don't
south.
even get that much snow up there.
Which one?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh, boy.
One of them. Move to a pole.
Well, hopefully we don't end up with that. I don't think we will.
I don't think we will. It's going to be truly difficult to keep that pace. But at the rate we're going, we are on rate for our snowiest winter on record, which the snowiest one was back in 07, 08 with the 100 inches. We'll see if we can play out that well this year. I don't know.
Chris has
You're
his
loving
fingers
this.
crossed.
Yeah, Chris loves this.
I really want to see the snowiest winter on record. I will not hide that fact, but I just don't think we can do it. Those are big shoes to fill.
Well, we know if it does, we're coming after you, so.
I'll probably be in Arizona.
Chris, thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Still ahead this morning, we have the top 3 things you need to know as you head out the door.
Also ahead, fewer food trucks are in the Madison area, and our Christina Laurie is looking into why right after this on News 3 Now this morning.
Shop. From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on a Friday morning. We made it. It is November 15th. I'm Josh Brighter.
And I'm Leah Lynchide. Hattie has a little bit of a warm-up for us heading into the weekend. Good news there. But first, let's talk about the top 3 things you need to know on your Friday. Today is the second day of public hearings for the impeachment inquiry into President Trump. Marie Yovanovitch is set to testify. She's the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine who was recalled by the president. David Holmes, the diplomat who allegedly overheard President Trump asking about a Biden investigation, is also expected to appear for a closed-door hearing. Coverage starts at 8 on CBS this morning.
This is new video right now that we're showing of the prison fight between Jake Patterson and another inmate. You'll recall Patterson is serving 2 life sentences for killing Jamie Klaas's parents and holding Jamie hostage. Back in August, Patterson told prison staff the fight happened after the inmate asked about his case. Patterson is now in restrictive housing.
And the third story we're following this morning, the State Department of Justice is investigating an officer-involved shooting that killed 1 person. Police say officers responded to a call for a suicidal man in Fox Crossing outside of Appleton. At some point during that interaction, they opened fire. That man later died at the hospital from his injuries. No officers were hurt. This is the state's 4th officer-involved shooting in less than a month.
That is your top 3 this morning, and Hattie's here now with a pretty nice Friday forecast, Hattie.
That's true. Conditions will be improving today, but as I walked into work, I noticed there was some ice on the news cars. So if you park your car outside, you're going to plan an extra couple of minutes to clear the windshield this morning. It is kind of a frosty start to the morning. Temperatures, though, aren't that cold. 26 here in Madison, 26 in the Dells. It's actually 31 in Camp Douglas. The coldest temps are right along the state line where skies are still clear. And that's Janesville, 16 degrees this morning. As you head out the door, it is still a cold day, though. Temperatures will be below normal, but we're actually climbing above freezing this afternoon, hitting a high of 36 degrees. The clouds that we have this morning will start to clear out after lunchtime. Here's a look at your first alert traffic maps this morning. A few brake lights showing up at Stoughton Road and the Beltline. Inbound on East Washington, though, right now looking good. Here's a look at the drive times and speeds through the area. No accidents reports. You're still going at posted speeds. And that's your first alert traffic.
Thank you very much, Hattie. So Madison is starting to see fewer and fewer food carts around the city than there used to be.
A new report shows the number of carts is down again this year, but that could soon be changing. Christina Laurie is live in downtown Madison to explain. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Josh and Lee. We're talking about that positive change this morning. The number of food carts is down here in Madison this year, but the city has its way. You will soon see more food carts out on the streets come 2020. As of this week, Sarah Blake Horst, she's the street vending coordinator for the city of Madison, says she's talked with more than 100 interested food cart operators. Some have already purchased a truck or cart and are moving into the licensing phase. Others are just kicking around the idea. Either phase is promising, though, and welcome good news after Madison's annual food cart review revealed the number of food carts is down for the second year in a row. That review also ranks the city's top food carts. Brazen Hussies earned top honors this year. We're joined this morning by Michael Solinger. He's the owner of Brazen Hussies. Thank you for sticking back out here with us. I think people are chanting in the background for your food truck.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's happening.
Okay, we'll just assume that. So, want to get your quick take advice for anyone who's looking to open a food cart.
The first thing is make sure you're doing what you love. Don't decide that Madison needs something and you're going to go fill that niche. Make sure you enjoy what you do, and then it'll be a lot easier during the grind when you're doing what you love instead of doing what you think needs to be done. And second, I think most importantly, make sure you have the financial wherewithal to survive a year or two, because the business won't be a success right out of the gate. It just won't be. I mean, unless you just hit it super lucky. You got to be able to weather the storm and keep going.
And we were also talking that you need to be able to define your business in just a word or two. Why is that important?
I think especially for street food and for fast food, you need to be able to communicate to your customers quickly. You know, there's a sea of vendors, and it's going to get bigger, what it is you do. And hopefully that sticks in their memory a little better than, you know, something that they have to memorize or try to figure out what it is.
And in that sea of vendors, you rose to the top this year. Congratulations.
Thank
you so much for talking to us this morning. And you can visit Michael's truck, Brazen Hussies. He's usually parked right outside of Tabernacle on the square. I know that my stomach is already growling, so I'll be making a stop before he packs up for the season, which will likely be around next week. So you have about a week, Josh and Leah.
All right, we do. Christina Laurie live in downtown. Christina, thank you.
6:35 your time now. Coming up in the morning sprint, we're telling you about a controversial football player who might be back out on the field soon.
And the weekend is here, so it's time to talk about what's happening in the Weekend 608. And we've got some events for you and the whole family to check out. That's when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
Furniture
All right, time of the morning when we always ask you to share your morning with us. And Jim Hall sent in quite possibly my favorite My Morning photo ever. A couple of calves.
Why is that?
You know, I have no idea. I'm certainly not a Wisconsin girl or anything.
No, not at all. No, this is definitely a Leah Lynchide special. I love it.
I love it. I like the snow in the background too. It's pretty.
It's so fresh, especially when it first falls. It always kind of gets, like this weekend with it melting, it's going to be kind of gross.
You stick an animal in there and that's a dang good picture, let me tell you.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing, Jim. If you've got a photo that you'd like to share, you know what Leah likes.
Oh yeah, you do.
It's all about the farm pics or those classic Wisconsin photos. You can just send it to us over on our Channel 3000 Facebook page. So it is our favorite time of the week here on News 3 Now this morning. The weekend is practically here.
Just about. There are a few things happening in the 608 we think you might want to check out. First, the Badgers basketball team hosting Marquette. That's happening on Sunday in their annual matchup with this in-state rival. The Badgers are coming off their second straight win after beating McNeese State by 20 points Wednesday night. Marquette comes into the game at 2-0 after beating another Big Ten team in Purdue in their last game. The Badgers lost to Marquette in overtime in last year's meeting at the Fiserv Forum. Don't let us down, folks. Tip-off is set for noon.
Break out the skis, Leah. It is an exciting time of the year for winter lovers. With the recent cold and snow, local ski hills are taking full advantage. If you're looking for ways to spend some time outside this weekend, you can head to Cascade Mountain in Portage and Tyrol Basin. Both are going to be open, according to their websites.
Are you a skier or a snowboarder?
I'm a skier. I love skiing.
I purchased skis last year, have yet to use them.
Yeah, well, we're going to do it this year.
Let's do it. Looks like we'll have plenty of snow. All right, and if the snow has you in the holiday spirit, there are a few shows this weekend that are for you. First, there's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the musical. That's a live-action adaptation, listen to that, of the beloved TV special at the Overture Hall at 2 and 7 on Saturday. Then Verona High School Performing Arts Center, they're putting on 2 musicals staged back-to-back, We Are Monsters and Disney's Frozen Jr. Tickets are available right now.
I feel like I could sing so much to all of those.
And we do have a 4th event happening. It's the final farmers market
I know.
of the season.
If that puts it in perspective that the year has just flown by, it's kind of sad.
And the temperatures won't be too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. It's actually looking pretty
30s.
good. And yeah, we've got the obviously the farmers market, and the night market is tomorrow night too, where they're going to do the holiday light displays. So a lot going on this weekend, and weather's actually going to be pretty decent.
Yeah, get outside and check it out.
Yeah, so it's still going to be cold enough to hit the slopes this weekend, but we are going to be seeing those warmer temperatures, which is good. Hattie's showing us some highs in the 40s. Yeah, what a heat wave on our way. That her extended forecast is coming up next.
We'll take that. But first, if you have a kiddo turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning.
Look who's
Taking a beautiful live look right now at a sunrise coming up over, I do believe that's Platteville.
Yeah, it's actually nice to see a little sunlight out there. I feel like we've been hanging in the clouds for quite some time.
Especially this morning, Hads. We're not seeing a ton of sun to start out the day.
We aren't. Maybe we should road trip to Platteville this
Road
morning.
trip.
Just to see that sunshine a little bit earlier. Here's what it looks like in Madison. It is cloudy right now. We should see some sunshine, though, later on today. If you are hunting this weekend, here's your forecast. Not looking so bad on Saturday. Temperatures will start out in the mid-20s in the morning. Wind chills likely in the teens, so of course bundle up. It's going to be a chilly start to the day, but temperatures will climb above freezing during the afternoon. No rain or snow in the forecast on Saturday, just cloudy skies. Now Sunday is a different story. We're watching a storm system that will likely impact the area. Here are the things that we do know with this system. It is going to start later than earlier forecasts, so I've pulled any snow chances from Saturday night. Now all the precipitation will start on Sunday morning. There's definitely going to be a changeover from snow to rain at some time in the afternoon, but overall pretty light amounts are expected with this particular system. Now the question marks, how much precipitation will fall? Well, that's anybody's guess right now, but again, it does look light. And when exactly that changeover from rain to snow impacts southern Wisconsin, it'll likely be a gradual changeover in the afternoon, but there is the potential for some freezing drizzle to mix in at times late in the afternoon. So those are still the question marks with this upcoming system. Overall, though, a pretty light one. We maybe could see around an inch of snow in the north woods, tapering off as you head into southern Wisconsin. So not much snow expected with this particular system. When you look at liquid equivalent as well, that'll be the rain and snow combined. Still pretty light, less than 1/4 of an inch for all of southern Wisconsin. Here's Weather Track this morning. What we are focusing on is this narrow band of clouds stretching from Minneapolis through La Crosse and Madison over towards Milwaukee this morning. It is a fairly narrow band. It really just is about 100 miles wide, and you can already start to see that it's breaking up in northwestern Wisconsin. So the clouds are not expected to last all day today. Our temperatures under that band of cloud, though, are a little bit warmer. 31 in Minneapolis, a balmy start to the day there, even 30 in La Crosse. Madison's not much farther behind with 26. You get down into Rockford, though, and temperatures drop into the mid-teens where skies are clear. So clouds definitely make a difference this time of the year. Here in southern Wisconsin, right along the state line, temperatures are in the teens to around 20 degrees as well, so significantly colder than it is here in Madison. Your Future Track forecast model shows you that these clouds, again, sinking southward through the morning, but starting to break up for the afternoon, as well as north of Madison, already clearing up by the lunch hour into the early afternoon time frame. Temperatures will climb above freezing today. 36 is the high. That'll be the first time that we're above freezing since Sunday. Skies will stay clear through the evening hours, but then watch for some clouds to build into the area overnight. We're going to be stuck with a lot of clouds through the area this weekend. Saturday, again, dry, but that chance for some snow changing to rain on Sunday with a high of 36 as well. Temperatures do get into the 40s for at least a couple of days next week. Here's a look at our not our extended forecast. We already did that.
It's a Friday, Hads.
It's Friday.
We're almost there. Hershey in Madison. Looks like Hershey has a treat. Isn't that bone in the mouth?
Does Hershey have a Hershey
buddy.
bar?
No, that'd be bad.
I know that'd be bad.
Dogs
Dogs
can't have
chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
I've got some
you
chocolate
guys.
on my
but I
desk
do know
waiting
that.
for me. So.
Little breakfast treat. I like it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
36. Not a bad day for a walk.
Thank you, Hattie.
All right, stay with us for the morning sprint up next. 6:50, time for the morning sprint with everything you need to know to start your Friday.
We begin with the latest in the impeachment inquiry against President Trump. Today is the second day of public hearings. Marie Yovanovitch is set to testify first. She's the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine who was recalled by President Trump. David Holmes, the diplomat who allegedly overheard the president asking about a Biden investigation, is also expected to appear for a closed-door hearing. Coverage starts at 8 on CBS this morning.
10 Democratic presidential candidates requalified for next Wednesday's debate in Atlanta. The Democratic National Committee confirms Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Tulsi Gabbard, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, Tom Steyer, Elizabeth Warren, and Andrew Yang have all met the polling and grassroots fundraising thresholds. This debate will have 2 fewer candidates than there were for the October's debate.
We are starting with some clouds here in Madison, but temperatures are in the 20s as a result. Where skies are clear, that's areas to the south with temperatures in the teens this morning. Today will be the first day, though, that we're climbing above the freezing point. We're headed to a high of 36 degrees this afternoon. Light north winds and some sunshine should make a pretty pleasant afternoon.
Thank you, Hattie. You are watching new video showing the prison fight between Jake Patterson and another inmate. You'll recall Patterson is serving 2 life sentences for killing Jamie Kloss's parents and holding Jamie hostage. Back in August, Patterson told prison staff the fight happened after an inmate asked about his case. Patterson is now in restrictive housing.
New information about an American teacher that was killed in the Dominican Republic. Police say they found 63-year-old Patricia Anton strangled in her apartment this week. Anton had been working at an elementary school in the Dominican Republic for several years. She is one of at least 11 Americans who have died in the Dominican Republic this year. Her body is currently being taken to a lab for testing.
A professor at UW-Madison will now focus on administrative work upon his return to campus after a 2-year suspension. Grad students had accused Professor Akbar Saeed of hostile and intimidating behavior. It all came to light after a graduate student in his research group killed himself. A letter from the School of Engineering dean says Saeed will not teach during the spring semester. He will instead work in the dean's office until oversight measures are in place.
A 16-year-old is suspected of shooting and killing 2 of his classmates and injuring 3 others in California. He then turned the gun on himself and is now in the hospital. Investigators are still trying to figure out a motive as they search for the alleged shooter's home and social media accounts. This is the 366th mass shooting of the year.
The State Department of Justice is investigating an officer-involved shooting that killed 1 person. Police say officers responded to a call for a suicidal man in Fox Crossing outside of Appleton. At some point during that interaction, they opened fire. That man later died at the hospital. No officers were hurt. This is Wisconsin's 4th officer-involved shooting in less than a month.
We're expecting to get a decision from a jury in a Janesville homicide case as early as today. The trial is looking to determine whether Jacob Davenport is responsible for shooting and killing James Thompson in February of this year. Final witnesses have testified, and today we're expecting final arguments from both sides before the case is handed over to the jury for deliberation.
The man accused of a hate crime for throwing acid on a Latino man's face is due in court today. Prosecutors say Clifton Blackwell, who is white, confronted Mahoud Viales and threw acid on his face after accusing him of being in the country illegally. Surveillance video caught the whole thing on camera. Today's hearing will determine if there's enough evidence for a trial.
Police are asking for your help this morning identifying the person in this home surveillance video on your screen. Right now, they're investigating a second break-in on Acewood Boulevard on the east side just this month. The burglar got in through a sliding glass door and stole money. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Madison area Crime Stoppers.
Colin Kaepernick could be returning to the football fields. The quarterback hasn't played in the NFL since being sidelined for protesting the national anthem in the 2016-17 season. Now we're learning more than half of the teams in the NFL are interested in potentially signing him. He'll be doing a workout tomorrow in front of more than a dozen team officials to see if he's ready to jump back in.
The number of food carts in Madison is down, according to a new report just released this month, but soon that might change. As of this week, the city's street vending coordinator, Sarah Blake Horst, says she's talked with more than 100 interested food cart operators. Some have already purchased a trucker card and are moving into the licensing phase. Others are just kicking around that idea. Either phase, though, is promising, and welcome good news after Madison's annual food cart review revealed the annual number of food carts. It's actually down this year compared to last year. That review also ranks the city's top food carts, and earning top honors this year is Brazen Hussies, who we talked to earlier in the show. You can hear the owner's plans for next season, as well as his advice for anyone looking to operate a food cart. That is on our website, channel3000.com.
Thanks, Christina. First alert traffic note ahead of the weekend. The Merrimac Ferry is closing for the season next week. The ferry runs 24/7 from April to November, but the last trip across the lake will be 9 a.m. Monday. The Merrimac Ferry is the state's only free ferry.
If you didn't park on the right side of the street last night, you could be waking up to a ticket. Alternate side parking is back in effect this morning. If you park on the street between 1 and 7 a.m., your car needs to be on the odd side of the street on odd numbered days, and the even side if the date is even. That rule lasts through March.
6:56 now. Jason Stone has a final look at your first alert traffic. Hi, Jason.
Hello. The westbound Beltline is slowing down near Stoughton Road through Monona Drive. All other lanes are at the posted speed limit, and no issues on John Nolan in both directions. With your first alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Jason, thank you very much.
And here's a look at the drive times around the area. No issues, so it looks like you're still going at posted speeds. Live look from the Henry Vilas Zoo Skycam. Barron or Nunica, I don't know which one. One of them's out playing this morning, having a good old time in the snow. Got to enjoy that snow. We're actually climbing above the freezing point today, so it's going to be melting a little bit. 36 is the forecast high this afternoon. Our extended forecast does bring a chance for some light snow mixed with rain then on Sunday, but overall temperatures stay a little milder.
All right, Hattie, thank you.
Enjoy that sun today, folks. Take a little time for yourself, your family this weekend, and we'll see you back here Monday morning.